welcome to the World Radio League live stream. Pretty much unprepared, unscripted here this evening, but we wanted to jump on here, answer some questions, do some feature demos, and really kind of have a good time here. And feel free to jump in the chat. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me, we're looking for that. Looks like we already have some people jumping in here. Thank you guys. Good to see you. We'll get this kicked off. I'll get my screen shared here in just a minute, and we will take a look at some of the new features that we have in World Radio League. All right, looks like I've got audio. Double checking that there. So let me know in the chat. Music is too loud. Thanks into FET. I think we just faded that out, so you shouldn't be hearing that anymore. Let me go ahead and get screen share going here, and we'll. KT Money, what's going on here tonight? We are doing a live feature demo. Some of the new things we have going on in World Radio League and answering questions. So. Yours being the first. So great to see you in here tonight. Yeah, we're going to be answering some questions. If you guys have some, just drop them in the chat. Happy to answer some questions for you. And yeah, we'll be doing a featured demo with World Radio League. So give me just a minute to get my list ready here. Does anyone use Discord? I'm personally on Discord. We do not have Discord set up for World Radio League. It's something we've kicked around, but we have the community right now. That's a question by Into FET, by the way, here. I do use Discord personally, but we do not have one set up specifically for World Radio League at this point. We've talked about it, just haven't got that far yet. So. First, first new feature that kind of maybe more of a cosmetic addition than anything. You'll notice we have a daytime version of the globe. This is one of the more minor ones we've added recently, but really makes the homepage pop there. We have, of course, the nighttime dark version that you're used to, and then the light mode version of the globe. Can you demo how to put multiple parks in the log? Absolutely. Let me add that to my list. And that was KT Money, wanting to know how to add multiple parks to the log. Most definitely. Let me add that. Multiple parks. Get my screens set up here so that I can. There we go. Ham Radio QRP K0KLB. Good to see you there. Rob KB6JFL. Good to see you in the comments. For those of you who are just joining, like I said, this is a feature demo and question and answer. So if you have any questions, anything you want to see demoed specifically, by all means, put it in the chat, because I'm just here. This is kind of an impromptu live, so I'm happy to demo anything here that anybody wants to take a look at. Ernest, VA3EWV, great to see you there, Ernest. Great to have you in the chat here. Ernest is one of our power users, as we like to call him. He's a really fantastic member of our community, and has jumped in, I believe, on multiple occasions and given us some good feedback. And boy, that guy makes a lot of contacts. Good to see you there, Ernest. Good to see you. All right, Rob KB6JFL doing a special event this weekend. Yes, we'll demo how to add special call signs to your log. So, Rob, is it a club call, or is it just a special event call? How's that set up? All right, we'll get that in there. like I said, I'm just adding things to my agenda as we go, so feel free to just throw something you want to see demoed, something maybe we haven't exactly shown how to do for a while, something that you'd just like to know how to do, like to see us demo. Anything like that, we would be happy to demo here tonight. So feel free to throw anything in. All right, so for those of you who have not seen it, we have updated our map share, which this has been live long enough that several of you have probably already seen it. For one, we have this new stats feature. So the stats feature, it's a shareable feature, and you can grab this share button right here, and just like the shareable map, you can share this. It shows your longest distance contact, states, provinces you've worked, the DX locations you've worked, bands, modes, that type of thing. The map share, this is something we have had for a little while now, but I'm not sure we ever really have demoed it that much, is this feature right here. One of our fantastic developers did an amazing job with this, and you can see this is a beautiful shareable map feature here. You can download this as an image. It's really great feature here. Gives you some stats over here along the side as well. Ernest, great. Adding the stats feature, adding the stats window to all of your videos. That's fantastic. That's great. Rob, okay, so you're using a group each with a different call. Okay, so kind of like a special event type of thing. Okay. Sean, a question: how do you enter multiple stations in multiple parks? Sean, I definitely am going to definitely want to demo this for you. But just to clarify, are you wanting to add like 2 operators in a different Poda park that you're hunting, or are you wanting to are you trying to log somebody in a twofer park, or are you talking about you and someone else are operating in a park or multiple parks? Just to clarify that maybe a little bit. And we'll get to that, absolutely. To log twofers. All right, so nextly, ham radio with into FET, a WRL Discord. Tell you what, Otis, why don't you DM me on Discord about that? We'll take that that question offline, if you don't mind. Just DM me with that question about the WRL Discord, and we'll discuss that offline. I may bounce that off of our CEO, and yeah, just DM me there in Discord, and we'll discuss that. Okay, so Sean, 2 operators that reside in 2 parks. Okay, so you're wanting to log 2 operators. So you're apparently, the way I'm understanding this is you're hunting 2 operators who are both in a twofer. So okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, absolutely. Okay. Nextly, we have. Let's go ahead and jump into one of the questions we had here. How to log multiple parks. This is kind of an overlap a little bit here. So multiple parks, twofers. So the way you'll do that, and this is really pretty much exactly the same in the mobile app. So I'm going to start a new logbook here. Live demo. That's today, the 14th. All right. We'll go with the default template. And I'll just start there. Okay, so say I'm working Jim N4 BFR. Jim, if you're watching, shout out to you. You've been doing quite a bit of POTA lately, I believe. In 14242 frequency, Okay, let's say he's in, I really don't know a twofer in Georgia area, so I'm just going to use two random park numbers. Say he's in US 1234 Pearl Lake and US 5959. Basically, you'll just tap those as they pop up in the drop down. You can add up to 5 at once, and those will populate. Just add them as tags. And if you miss one, you can always go in and edit it later. But yeah, it will just pop up as tags here in your logbook. That way, you have that record stored in your logbook. Now, if you're Sean had the question, I'll log multiple ops in multiple parks. I definitely see where you're going there. That's a really good point. So the adding the multiple parks isn't the problem. The problem was adding the multiple parks multiple times, as I'm understanding. Is that right, Sean? I think I understand you correctly there. In that case, so you're having to add like 2 or 3 parks for 2 or 3 operators, all in a row, and you don't want to have to keep adding those over and over. So I think, yeah. In fact, let me make a note of that. So multi-op POTA hunting. Let me make a note of that, and I'll bounce that off the team, and maybe we'll actually dive into making that a little bit simpler to add multi-op. If you have an idea on how you would like to add that, like just kind of a design idea, feel free to shoot me a message on that in the community. You can DM me on socials, whatever. Just if you have an idea, feel free to throw it out there. I mean, we may not implement it exactly that way, but we're definitely open to ideas. Absolutely, Sean, absolutely. KT Money, on the mobile app, same for twofers. Yes. Let me see if I can pull my mobile app up here and show you what you do. So this may be backwards on the stream. If it is, I apologize. But so basically, if you can see this, there we go. You have a their park button up here. You just tap that. You go in here and you start entering the numbers. And as they pop up in the drop down, let me get 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. As they pop up in the drop down here, you just tap them. It adds it as a tag down there. You can see. I'm sorry, this is backwards on the stream, and it's not looking very well, but you kind of get the idea. It's the same idea. You just go in there and you can just keep adding multiple parks. So yeah, it's okay. So Ernest Vincent, when you see this, they both have WRL, and they're both spotted at the same park. You just have to get the info twice. Yeah, so basically you're having to copy the info over multiple times for a multi-op in a park. That's what Sean was talking about. Absolutely, that's a great feature idea. Really, I really that's a fantastic feature idea. So we'll look at getting that added in there. KT Money had issues with one op in a twofer or more parks. KT Money. Could you clarify what issue you were having with multi-op, and we'll take a look at that for sure. Rodney, duplicate function might help. That's not too bad of an idea. So basically, duplicate details. So maybe a second op button, just the second op button that copies all the details and opens up. See you into FET 7-3 to you. 7-3 to you. So okay, so a duplicate function. I'm liking this idea, Rodney. That's a fantastic idea. So basically, we want a second op button that duplicates all details and sends the cursor straight to sends the cursor straight to the call sign field. Great idea there, Rodney. I'm making a note of this so I can pass these thoughts on to the team. So I appreciate the idea there. Absolutely, that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Not saying that's exactly how we're going to implement it, but it's absolutely something I'm going to take to the team and see how they would like to implement that. KT Money, you could add a drop-down menu for number of ops. Yes, that's also a good idea. The problem with the drop down is you kind of just run into that weird thing where there's just kind of a constraint as to how many ops you want to put in your drop down, and then you have the you risk possibly bumping the wrong number, and then for each of those you still have to enter a call sign. So I totally get where you're coming from there. But I do kind of think the dupe button is probably a good idea. Rodney, KJ5FWC, a great beta tester, by the way. He helped us out a lot with cat control. Appreciate that. Yeah, KT Money, absolutely. That's kind of what I really am wanting to accomplish here is just getting feedback from everybody who wants to jump on the stream. See how you're using it, and that way we can just continue to improve our product and make it grow, make it better. James Cribbs in the house. Our CEO is here. Hey, James, great to see you there. Absolutely, having a lot of fun here tonight, and getting some great ideas from some of the users. So if you want to jump in and say hey for a couple minutes, you can DM me over on our internal messaging. And we'll see if we can get you tapped in here for a couple minutes. But understand if you're busy and can't. Absolutely understand. So let's see here. So Ernest, so work around on the PC. Yes, we do have two ops, but it's easy to keep two browsers open. But in the first, you just add the other person. Yeah, I definitely see where Ernest is coming from. Those one-offs. Yeah, I see where you're coming from, Ernest. It's rare enough that two op is it's kind of becoming more popular. So, yeah, it's one of those things I think I'm definitely going to pass this idea on to the team and see what else we can do with that. Anybody else have any thoughts on this? Feel free to jump in, and we'll definitely take a look. All right, who asked for club calls? Here? Somebody was asking for club calls earlier. Rob, KB6JFL. KT Money, call sign after each op. Yeah, that's an idea as well. You could add a comma after each call sign. Okay, I'll throw that note in here. I'll throw that note in here. Possibly a comma after each call sign. All right, Sean hearing more twofers more often. So yeah, okay. Oh yeah, sorry, Rob. KB6JFL, not club calls, special event calls. I'll get it straight. Okay, so honestly, I think what you want to use is the special event call option. I mean the club call option. So here, let me just go ahead and demo that for you. So we're gonna clear this out, and I have another new feature. I don't think we've demoed anywhere that I'm going to show you guys here in just a little bit. Really great feature here. So, you know what? I think we have James in the house. Let me bring James in, and then I'll go on to this club call demo. Here we go. All right, say hi, James.
Hey, Andy, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're sounding loud and clear over here on my
No,
end.
I saw you having the live stream, and it looked like so much fun. I had to hop in.
Yeah, absolutely.
But this is
Yeah.
great though. No, I've just been listening to some of the feedback here that people have been dropping in. Sounds like they're going to be putting us to work, but that's good though, right? Like we want to actually be getting some suggestions from people and figuring out, especially some of these things that you may not think of, like adding commas after call signs. I know with the park to park entry, we had made it so that you can partially type and get the autocomplete on the park. I had heard some people request a comma on that, like similar to how you would do for the suggestion for multiple call signs. I think that was from maybe KT Money that was also as asking about that.
Okay. Yeah.
But
Yeah, absolutely. Here. I'm getting reports of an echo. Let me plug my headphones in.
okay, cool. Well, I don't want to throw you
Okay.
off. I can.
Oh no, no, no. You're good.
It take
Hopefully
PayPal
that.
for payments. Okay.
Yeah.
Cheers, KT Money. I got my Morse code. I got my Morse code mug, by the way.
Fantastic. No, you're doing great, James. You can. I just had to get these headphones on, and that should cut out the that should cut out the echo here. So, okay. Ernest saying hello to James.
What's
Yeah,
up, Ernest? Good to see you.
Ernest has definitely been a big contributor. Okay, so yeah, so click settings in the log and change your call there. That's actually not what I'm going to show you here, Rob. What I'm gonna demo here. Let me bring my heard a little RF going on over there,
Yeah,
James.
I had my volume way up and I turned my radio on.
Okay, let me go ahead and demo this right quick for you. So, yes, you can do this. You can do this two ways. You can go up here, Rob, to your. This is probably the main way to do it. It's just click on this quick setting on your call sign, and you just change the call sign for your logbook. Any contacts you log after you change this are going to log under that new call sign. You can go special event, club, or individual. So it's really simple. Just click on that, change it, and every contact you log after that will have that call sign attached to it instead of your own call sign. I think we also have the option in the settings, so you can change the call sign in here to a special event call, but the quickest and easiest way to do it is just the quick settings menu right up here. So that's just the fastest way to do it. Anything after that's going to log under that special event call until you change it back. Yeah, so KT Money's wanting to take PayPal payments. We've thought about it, James. I'm not sure if you've looked into this or not. I think we have a way to enable that possibly in Stripe, but I don't know.
We can take with Stripe payments. We can take credit card, debit card. We can take any type of. I think it supports most payment types, but the problem is that if we were to try to add PayPal, then we'd have subscriptions in two places, and it would just take us a really long time to set it up. So I'm not saying no, but I would say don't hold your breath. Sorry, Kate. Don't hold your breath on the PayPal. We got a few kind of like high priority things we got to knock out first.
Absolutely. Okay, KT Money, love the way the app is heading. KF4BOG, great to see you here. Jump in with any thoughts that you have. Absolutely glad to hear from anybody. What we're doing tonight is we're just demoing some new stuff and taking ideas, answering questions, having a good time tonight. So James popping in was actually an exciting surprise. I didn't expect him to be able to make it tonight, but thankfully he was able to join and jump in with us. So KT Money, love to get more involved in helping. Yeah, keep sending us ideas. Keep sending us feedback through the community. Drop comments on in our live streams and videos. Whenever you have the opportunity. Absolutely. And also, I don't know your call sign. If you don't mind, just drop your call sign in the chat, or maybe even DM me in the community. Just DM me in the community at N0APX, and absolutely we can chat over there after the stream. KB6 JFL. Okay, I hope that answered your question on the special event calls. If you have any more questions about that, absolutely open to answering anything there. But yeah. hopefully that answered your question. KT Money makes sense. I think you're referring to the PayPal discussion there. Yeah, it's a little bit challenging at the moment. It's going to be a little bit almost more trouble than it's worth right now, but we may eventually be able to integrate that. But anyway, glad James is here to answer that question for us. All right, Rodney,
Got your call
KJ5.
there too, KT Money. Thanks.
Okay, yeah, thanks, KT Money. KD2VQE, let me note that. KD2VQE. That way I don't lose it in the live stream comments abyss. All right, Rodney, KG5FTPC. If you do the duplicate and have your link to QRZ active, you need to ensure the duplicate data overrides the QRZ location and keeps the park data. Very good point. Very good point. Absolutely. I like I like your detailed thinking here. That's what we like to see for sure. Yes, we'll definitely want to make sure that. In fact, let me just put a note in there so that once we get this to the development team, they're already thinking ahead on that. Yeah, Rodney is definitely a champ. James, I think if you click that little button down next to your comments, you can set it to either Facebook or YouTube, so you're not posting across both at the same time. If
Oh,
you,
thanks. That's a good tip.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so let's see here. So need park
Um,
data to.
Andy, if you want, I'll give you a little reprieve. I got a couple minutes here. I can talk a little bit kind of future features, maybe give some of the viewers a little bit of highlight stuff too, if you have.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm gonna be. Yeah, absolutely. I'll be demoing here shortly some of the new things we've come up with. But if you want to give a preview, yeah, of some of the things that are still yet to come, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I just if it's cool, I just like to kind of give a little bit of, I guess a couple like some special announcements of like
Yeah,
some things
yeah.
to look
Go
forward
for it.
to. Now, Andy's a
Go for
light
it.
mode guy. I'm a dark mode guy, especially because as you can see, it's dark where I am right now. So like the light mode hurts my eyes, so I got to keep it in dark mode. Um, but well, I guess you'll probably show some of the newer stuff that's come out. Like one
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
highly requested things that you're probably getting into is like showing how many
Yeah,
QSOs
yeah. I'll
you
be,
have
I'll
with
be,
the
I'll
park.
be going into that here shortly. Yeah,
Okay,
absolutely.
okay. Well, I'm
Yeah.
just gonna give you guys some of the ideas for like the what you're gonna see the next month, 2 months, 3 months. We send an email every week with all the great features that are coming out. And he's going to get into detail on stuff that's happening like literally right now. The stuff comes out almost every week. But I want to give some just information about what you're going to see on like maybe a 2 to 4 month stuff. And that way, too, some of you guys, especially like Rodney, Rob, Ernest, or anyone that's super active in here, we really like to get your feedback on some of this stuff before it even comes out. But so there's some stuff that like if you've come into your analytics page on the left hand side, go to analytics. This DX dashboard badly needs an enhancement and it's coming. So it only goes up to 100 DX and some of the analytics is pretty limited. Like it'll show you your countries and your confirmed QSOs, but this is going to get a lot more robust. Another thing to look out for, so that would be one, is these templates. So these templates are going to be a lot more customizable, and we're even looking at allowing you to kind of customize your layout. But we're starting with the template first. So we do have some people that didn't like the side-by-side view as much. I personally really like the side-by-side view, but I get it. Like sometimes you might want the logger to be across the top and the log to be across the bottom. Yeah, sorry about that, Rob. If you put in a ticket with us about your 100 DX, we'll fix that. But yeah,
We'll
and
definitely take care of that for you.
there's just so many things we're working on, guys. Like I've never been more excited about it. Like with even the map, we're going to be building a lot more options where you can customize your map. We want to be able to overlay a gray line on here, change between map view and globe view. So be looking out for more updates around this. Um, on the leaderboard, we're actually working on some performance enhancements right now. It's kind of, I think it might even be live, but sometimes if you hit a loading spinner on here, we're going to try to make that so that the leaderboard's a little bit faster. But let's check out your state here, Andy.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess the week just started, but
And
where's
radio
where's
with
your
into
contacts, man?
FET. That's into FET. That's Otis. Yeah, he's
Oh,
got
hey.
43 DX countries with us already. Great work into FET. Yeah, James, I have not
Oh
logged a
yeah,
single
cute.
contact
So
this week yet, but it's still Monday.
yeah, I know. We're also going to be introducing some like this analytics. So where you can see DX dashboard in US states. Imagine this having like 5 new tabs. Like that's where we're going, right? You're going to get a lot more analytics in here. QSO's my antenna, Sean. Love it. That's definitely coming. That's actually why we added in the logbooks where you can set your antenna, because we wanted you to be able to start adding it to the contact. So the data is already in. If you've been setting your antenna and your radio, I wish I had this flex. I actually only have an ICOM. This is a flex that I operate. This was someone else's flex that I operated. I'm not that cool yet. I will be getting a flex at some point, but my ICOM 7300 is like my trusty ICOM. That thing is great. Um, the contesting. So I guess kind of give you guys a little more on what's coming on contesting. We have a new product engineer on the team called Brad. He works closely with me and Andy. He's been dropping a bunch of new contests in here, um, like all the QSO parties. We're actually working with the guys from the QSO parties. So if you haven't joined in any of the QSO parties, be sure to hop in and join some of these, even if you're not in the state. But of course, for your state too, and you've got your live leaderboard, real time contesting. But we're going to be adding a lot more contests and building in the rules here. And you're also going to see some next generation contesting coming, where you're going to see us launching some of our own type of sprints and even custom contests. So like let's say you and your club want to do your own contest and you want to add it into World Radio League. We're going to be supporting that type of stuff coming up soon too. Um, that's a pretty. I think that'll get us um, a little bit further. And I don't want to spoil everything. I'll probably drop some notes in the community for some of you guys who are inside of there about some of the new features and get some feedback there. But that's a good start of some of the stuff that's happening. And I mean, definitely play around in here too. There may be some features that we launched that you just haven't had a chance to look at yet, like PODA and activity sites. This is even available on the mobile app too, which is so great because like if you're out driving and you just want to see if there's a PODA or SOTA site near you, you can just pull it up. Let's see if I can do it on my phone here as well. You can pull it up on your phone. You've got all the activity sites right there in your activity map, your call sign search. And so it's just in a mobile app view where with one click, you can create a logbook and now you're activating that summit or that park. I'll just delete that. And we even keep some analytics on each of the different sites here too. So if you click on the site within World Radio League, we'll actually show you analytics about the site. Now, this is only limited to analytics that's inside of contacts in the World Radio League, right? We're not pulling all of the data over from the POTA site because that would just be a lot of data for our platform to pull in. But you have some data that you can see about this. So yeah, I mean, I'd be interested from you guys on I guess maybe on the analytics side about what I shared is like, I think Sean mentioned the QSOs about antenna. Does anybody else have um, any suggestions on that? Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. One of the things that we're gonna let's see if I can look up KF4 So we'll start looking up some of you guys. We're
While you're
gonna
looking that
be
up,
adding.
into FET, while you're looking that up, into FET said the analytics should be for people who have a free subscription. Into FET, the reason we're not able to do this is because these analytics are so data intensive. Data handling costs money. Like, it can cost quite a bit of money. So we're keeping basic logging free. We're keeping pretty much everything we can keep free and still make it. Analytics is not one of those things. It's just too data intensive right now for us to leave that in the free option. So, if you want to, if you want access to that, you can grab our cheapest package. You can still have it with our cheapest level. You can get analytics. Isn't that right, James? Don't we
Yeah,
offer it with
exactly.
our
Well,
cheapest package?
I
Yeah.
some of even free mode, it'll let you do some analytics, right? It's not like you don't
Yeah,
have
yeah.
any
Oh, yeah.
analytics.
Well,
But like
individual logbook analytics.
there
Yeah,
was
yeah.
another
That's all.
logbook the other day that I was reading that they actually had to completely remove their mapping features because the
Yeah,
cloud costs
yeah.
from Google
I
Maps were
saw that.
killing them. And
Yeah,
so
I saw
we're
that.
trying we're just doing our best as we can to make the pricing model work so that we can that we can pay the cloud costs, keep things going, and be
We have
reasonable.
um, um, somebody in the chat here saying they did their first PODA activation today with the WRL app, and it worked great for them. Fantastic! That's absolutely awesome. That's what we like to hear. These are the success stories that we like to hear.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so Kyle, another thing too, like we like what I would love to do, especially as we're meeting you guys, is like be able to follow you without like making a QSO. We do have a followers feature that's coming on here too. So if you just like see, you have someone that that you want to remember their call
Yeah,
sign or have
yeah,
access to it, you can
absolutely.
put other people that are like your contacts in here as
Yeah.
followers.
We
So
might
that
even
should be
add things like people can publish some of their latest awards or fun contacts to their followers, so they can see. But yeah, okay. So while we're going through this, I'm trying to keep up with the chat here. Rodney KJ5FWC, can we get worked 100DX while waiting for confirmation? We specifically left this one out. So we want you to be able to get awards as you go through um, like 25, 50, 75, that type of thing. We want you to be able to get those awards because those are really fun. You have those records, but you maybe not have confirmed all those. So our 100DX award is meant to be a really specifically exclusive to those who have worked and confirmed 100DX. So if you want the 100DX award, spread the word about World Radio League and get everybody
well.
to confirm your contacts on WRL, just like you try to get them to confirm them on other services. Try to get them to
And
confirm
I
on
was
WRL.
And I totally agree with you there. And I had talked to Rodney. I actually talked to you in the community chat. We went back and forth about this. And we are going to open it up a little bit because now since we only had 100 DX in the first round of analytics, since we're going to go all the way to, I think there's 340. Maybe somebody in the
Something like
chat
that.
knows
Yeah.
exactly how many DX entities there are. But since we're going to take it all the way, we're definitely going to open it up a little bit, Rodney, as well. We want to still get people getting confirmations in here, like Andy mentioned, but we'll get you.
Yeah.
We'll take care of you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right.
All right.
KD2VRL is the one who did his first PODA activation today. KD2VRL. That's fantastic. That is great to see. KT Money have a log last night and have not uploaded it yet. Yeah, well, that's we've made that really easy. So if it's an ADIF file, or whether you're trying to get it from World Radio League to PODA, or from an ADIF file to World Radio League, you can just use the ADIF import export features for that. Into FET, I forgot about this. He made a QSO with Jim the other day. Great work there, Otis, making that contact. That's fantastic.
Let's see if we can find it. I don't know if we can search by. Let's see if he's got it in.
Rodney KJ5FWC 700th park hunted today. That is awesome. That's fantastic, Rodney. Great work.
There's Otis's. Oops, wrong. Here, let me see if I can copy this link and put it into the.
There you go. There you go. There it is, right there. That's fantastic. That's great. That's great.
There you go. There's your contact, Otis with
Rob
Professor.
KB6 JFL has 804 parks hunted. That's great. That's great, Rob. Fantastic.
This is
Jetta Jeff
also just while we're
KC1 UER. Hello. Thank you for joining us tonight. Absolutely. We're taking thoughts and ideas, answering questions, and demoing new features. So feel free to drop any of your thoughts in the chat as we go along here.
who's going to Dayton, by the way.
Yeah. Let us know who's going to Dayton. Absolutely. Show of hands, or in this case, keys. All right, James, if you don't mind, I'm going to go ahead and jump into a few more features here as we go along.
Yeah,
here.
we got another
just
Winter
kinda
Field
demo
Day
some new stuff.
participant. Thank you,
Nice.
thank you, Rob, for joining us on Winter Field Day. That was a fun one. That contest, if you go back into the past contest and you look in, that's still one of the biggest ones that we've done. And that was one of the most fun as well. Look, we had 960 people, 17,000 contacts. And these are
Yeah,
just getting
that's one of
bigger.
our
I
big
mean,
ones.
we're going to do,
Oh
of
yeah.
course, the Summer Field Day. But all right,
Yeah.
Andy, I'm going to
Well, yeah.
get my face off the screen here and go back to you.
All right. Thanks for joining us, James. Great to see you there. And yeah. Hopefully we can do this more often. This is great being able to jump on lives like this. Let me go ahead and bring my screen back in here. Rodney advertising WRL with a link to his page, the link on his QRZ page. Thanks, Rodney. That is great. Also show your antennas in WRL bio. Yeah, that's a really neat feature. I like that feature myself, being able to do that. KF4BOG will be at Dayton. Great. I unfortunately probably won't be able to make it this year, but I know James and the rest of the team will be glad to see you there, or some of the rest of the team. KT Money, not me, got to work. Yeah, same here. I've got definitely obligations that probably won't allow me to make it this year. Jetta Jeff 301st hunted park today, fantastic. 309 QSOs from Into FET since January 30th. Yeah, that's fantastic. I've been doing a lot of. Okay, looks like Kenneth Tilford's going to Dayton. That's great. I actually just recently, just the other day, in fact, let me pull up that logbook. I just activated, I was the first activator at this park, 12319. I got first activator on the POTA website because I requested the park and then went over there about as quick as I could and activated it. But for the very first time, I actually bumped into another POTA operator while I was there. He was there scouting the area. He wasn't activating yet, but he was scouting the area. He activated the next day. But yeah, it was the first time I'd actually ever bumped into another POTA operator in a POTA park before, so that was fun. All right. Can we work on a tutorial, show cat control with the app? Yes, we are actually going to be releasing one of those very soon, and I'm going to be demoing that tonight, probably. In fact, if the video quality is good enough, we may in fact release the demo tonight as a guide, possibly, or we may record that separately. We'll just see how things go there. Huntsville in August. James, are you guys going to Huntsville in August?
I think so. We haven't reserved our booth yet, but we should be there.
Oh, okay.
I'd say give it a 75%. If this video gets 10 shares, we will go to Huntsville.
Yeah. All right. So, let's dive into a couple new features here and a couple more new features here. I think James already went through some of our expanded contesting features, and then we looked at the logbook stats. Analytics, he showed you guys that. Integrations, we have an integrations page. You know what? I'm going to come back to integrations because I want to dive deep into integrations. Yes, KF4BOG, I'm going to show you here just a few minutes how to set up the AC log integration with WRL. Now, just realized I'm on my Mac right now, and I can install AC Log on here, but I think I can still show you how to set that up. If not, I will be recording a separate video on how to do that anyway. So if I can't show you everything tonight, I'll show you as much as I can. Then we'll release the user guide really soon. Band
Well,
conditions. Look at this, guys.
I gotta
Look at this.
run.
Look at this. Yeah.
I gotta run
Yeah.
here, so I'll let you get back
All
to it.
right.
Andy,
Thanks,
thank you
James.
so much for getting the live stream going, man. I really
Absolutely.
appreciate you, and it was great to see you guys in the chat as well. You guys
Oh,
will
yeah.
see me a lot, and I'm also in the community in World Radio League all the time. I mean, we're working on this 24/7, so like I recognize a lot of familiar faces, and like we're just so grateful to everybody for the feedback and for really helping us try to get this project off the ground. I mean, it's a labor of love, and I think we're having a blast, and we've got so much good stuff coming. I think we're really gonna blow some people away with some never before done stuff before in ham radio. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll leave you to it, Andy.
Great to see you, James. Everybody, don't run off yet. I'm going to be here for a while yet, so
I'll probably
stick
be
around.
watching on my phone.
Great,
so.
absolutely great to see you,
7-3.
James, and have a great night. 7-3. All right, guys. Band conditions. That's what we're getting into next. Look at this band conditions widget. Isn't this beautiful? One of our developers here. Let me get my headphones off now. That's not going to echo most likely. There we go. Much better. Okay. So, hey, Ryan in the chat. Ryan is, speaking of beautiful designs, Ryan did an awesome job with this band conditions widget design, and our developers took that and ran with it and implemented it very beautifully as well. So, great work, Ryan, on the design there. Thank you so much. Great to see you in there, my friend. Poda Power checking in from Florida. Good to see you guys. Hey, tonight we're taking any feedback you have, any questions, any ideas for new features, drop them in the chat. We are happy to see anybody's thoughts. Just demoing new features, taking feedback, answering questions. Happy to see you all tonight. So, Vaughn and Julie there in Florida. Good to see you guys. But anyway, this new band conditions widget, I don't know if I can zoom in on this very well or not. Let me full screen it for a second here so you can see it a little better. No, that didn't do it. There we go. But anyway, yeah, you can see here we have the typical band conditions we had for a while, but now we've added the sunspot number, A and K indexes, and the solar flux index. And we've got these great tooltips. You can just hover over each one and see what each one of those means. Ham radio with N2 FET 7.3. Good to see you. Have a great evening. Rob KB6JFL, AC log to WRL and QRZ. Yeah, okay, that's great to hear, Rob. Yeah, I'll be demoing that here shortly, as much of it as I can. I'll probably kind of demo it with WSJTX a little bit, and then we'll jump into how to set that up with AC log as well. Like I said, I may not be able to do the whole thing with AC log because this is a Mac and I can't run AC log on a Mac. But I'll get my Windows computer. We'll do a Windows a demo video of that and release it later. Jeff Katz in the chat. Good to see you. All right. So there's band conditions for you. Once again, Ryan made a great design on that, and our team implemented that really well. Rodney, band conditions just in time for a dual corona math ejection to hit on the 16th. No fun. I was, I thought about maybe trying to do some POTA later this week, but if that's the case, maybe not. KT Money, great UI. Yeah, I tell you what, Ryan nails our UI design, does an amazing job with it, and our development team takes those designs and just implements them beautifully. Okay, Jeff, KC1UER, just switch over to Facebook. Rob, I think you're talking about AC log. Comes in handy logging satellite contacts to WRL. It's good to know. It's good to know. Share any feedback with us about satellite contacts. You know, I'd be glad to hear any feedback there. We're thinking about implementing a maybe a little bit better way to add those within World Radio League. So share any thoughts you have about that. PotoPower, we love it. That's great. Good to hear, guys. That's fantastic. Yeah, PotoPower, they've been really, really great supporters of ours for a long time, and great to see them in there. All right, call sign. Yeah, let's take a quick look at call sign history. This one's a really fun one. Let's pick a call sign that I've logged before. Let me think here. I'm gonna go. What's a good one? What's a good one that I've logged plenty of times before? You know what? I think Rodney. I believe I've logged you before. KJ5FWC. Look at this here. We have this new 4 QSOs, but that's always been here. Now we have this new little view button. This is not only available in the web app, but it's also available in the mobile app. So if you click this button, looky there, I can see every time I've contacted Rodney in the past. You can see here the date, mode. You can view the contact. Look at that. Beautiful implementation there. But yeah, it just gives you a complete history of all the times you've logged that station. Rodney, I did not know that I logged you on single sideband. That's great. I forgot that I logged you on single sideband. I know I've logged you quite a bit on FT8 before, but great to get you in the log there on single sideband. I'd forgotten about that. That's great. PotoPower showing WRL and HRP at a local repeater club tomorrow, live on PotoPower. That's fantastic, guys. Thank you for the publicity there. World Radio League ham radio prep demo at a local club. That's great, guys. Hopefully, I can make it into the chat. We'll see what happens. Ooh, Jacob Martin in the house. Great to see you, Jacob. Jacob's another one of our great beta testers. Another one of our great users. Good to see you there, Jacob. All right. So the call sign history. Another way you can use that is if you go and you pull up a user up here. You see this button right here. You can click this. And it takes you to a filtered view in your QSO manager of the same thing. So you've got your history with that operator filtered in QSO manager. So really, really neat stuff there. That's just really recent additions. Yeah, stuff that I've been really excited to use, and really, really great stuff there. Okay, all right. What else do we have to cover tonight? There's some weird rumbling in the background. It's my 3D printer going, so don't be alarmed. To switch to FT8, due to the conditions, the city put up an LED light, an LED street light directly behind the house. That's terrible. I'm sorry about that, Rodney. Hopefully maybe you can get out and do some POTA and get away from that. You know what? Get you a QRP radio and a CW key. I just recently started into the CW side of things, and activating a park in CW is a lot of fun. 5 watts, it's a lot of fun. Kendall Arthur, best logging software out there. Thank you, Kendall. We really appreciate it. Really appreciate that very much. Just so you guys know, if you have any feedback to share with us, we gladly take it through the community. If you find a bug that you want to report, we've added some more details here, but if you can use Loom. It's a great screen recorder. You just record a quick screen capture video, and then you just copy a link to it. It saves it in the cloud. You copy a link to it, drop it in your bug report, and that way we have that that demo, you demoing what the problem is. That way we can help you out with that a lot better. And once again, if it is not a bug but a feature request or a general question, just drop it in the community. We have myself, James, and Brad over there in the community are jumping on those. So feel free to do that as well. All right, what else do we have tonight? I think we demoed how to add a club or special event call. And for those of you who are just joining us, the easiest way to do it is to grab this quick setting up here and to change your call to your special event call. Say I'm going to use W2L. I have no idea. Just add special event there, saved. Every contact logged after that until you change it again is going to be logged under W2L. So, and when you export it, it's going to export it as contacts from W2L. So that's the easiest way to do that. Jacob Martin, this weekend was a great weekend doing POTA. Good to hear. I tried to do some POTA this weekend. I did a successful activation. It's actually the first activation at that particular park. So I got first activation at a new park. And I think I got 16 contacts there. Only 3 on single sideband, 13 on CW. And then I tried going to another park and I only got 5 there. It was actually the Trail of Tears. We have a registered segment of the Trail of Tears turned into a city park. So it's one of those really neat places where you can go to the city park and still activate it because it's part of the Trail of Tears. So I only got 5 contacts there, all on CW, because the bands by the afternoon I saw a lot of comments. People were commenting about it. They just were not doing good by then. And so it was really rough, but had a lot of fun. Pause the spotting page for a certain amount of time instead of updating every minute. I get that. I can see that. I'll drop a note in here. The one issue you have is if somebody marks their spot QRT, you're not going to see that. But I'll drop a note to our and we'll talk about it with the devs and see kind of what we have. Pause spotting page for longer than 1 minute. All right. Great call out, Jacob. Absolutely. Rodney, 3,800 FT8 contacts since February 2nd. 110 DX, 2,254 grid squares. That's amazing. That's a lot of FT8. Absolutely, that's a lot of FT8. I worked some FT8. I haven't worked as much lately because I've been doing a lot of CW. But that's great. That's great. Jacob Martin, 315 contacts for the weekend, all on single sideband. Wow. Maybe I just wasn't using my radio good enough. Great work, Jacob. There. Great work. All right. So I think we already talked about multi-op POTA hunting. Like I said, if you have any questions about how to do anything, please drop those in the comments. I'd be glad to answer those. If you have any suggestions on new things you'd like to see, drop those in the comments. KT Money can't even get FT8 to run. You know what? We're planning on doing a guide on how to get WSJTX set up and integrated with your World Radio League log. So keep an eye out for that. Yeah. WSJTX it's a challenge to get it set up the first time, but once you do, it's like you pretty much don't have to touch it as long as you don't change any of your, connections or anything to your rig. So, yeah, Jacob is a machine, absolutely. And I believe Rodney and Jacob are neighbors. Is that right? I think you live pretty close to each other. So they're both great beta users. Conditions were horrible on Saturday. Yeah, okay, I get you now. Yeah, Saturday was when I was trying to activate the parks. So that's why I struggled so much. It was terrible Saturday. And the conditions showed pretty good. I mean, if you just use band conditions to the statistics to go by, but in actual actual use, it was not good. JT alert takes it to all 3 logs. I'm not sure I know what JT alert is, Rob. If you want, you can maybe drop an explanation in there. Okay. Jacob and Rodney are both members of the K5COW club, Countdown Club. Oh, great. Okay, all right, guys, let's dive into some integrations here. So, first and easiest integration to set up, I'm going to just unlink it to prove to you guys if this is possible. So, the easiest one to set up is your QRZ call sign lookup. This is really just a great way. Now, you have to have an active QRZ subscription to use this. We're actually building out our internal database, and that will be available soon for you to just use our data instead of having to pull it from other sources. But the source that we were using, a different third-party source, it became very unreliable. So we had to do something in the meantime until we could get our own database up and running. The best thing we could come up with for the short term was QRZ. If you have an active subscription, just log in using your credentials. That easy. It's linked in your web app, your mobile app. If you're connected to the internet and you have an active QRZ subscription, it pulls all that data across. That being said, our new system, you will not have to have an active QRZ subscription. It will be entirely internal, and we look forward to implementing that. So stay tuned for that, because that will be coming very soon. Next integration. So for WSJTX, N1MM, and N3FJP, otherwise known as AC log, it's the same thing. You're going to need this app, the WRL Cat Control Beta app. Now, we have different sections for each of these, but it's all done through this app. Now, we have Windows version, Mac Intel version, and Mac Apple Silicon version. We're going to be adding a Linux version soon. We have not got that one packaged together yet, but we will be adding that very soon. Okay, so let me see if I can pop open my cat control app and share that with you guys. Oops. Okay. We're getting there. Give me a minute. To share screen. There we go. Okay. So now you can see, I'll just pop this up on this side. Step over here. There we go. Okay. So what you see here is Cat Control over here and World Radio League over here. So in order to set up Cat Control itself, you know what? I'm going to use my Shack log for April. There we go. Okay. You're going to want to go up here to the settings wheel. You're going to want to select your appropriate model. Mine, in my case, is the Kenwood TS570D. Grab your port and your baud rate. Then you're going to click Start Radio Connection. Give it just a minute to connect that. Move this little guy out of the way. There we go. Connection successful. There we go. Okay, get that moved out of the way. All right. So you can see on VFO-A, I'm running 14.05336, and on VFO-B, I'm running 10.12098. So I'm going to want to adjust this frequency. So let's go to 14.074. There we go. You can see my my S meter jumped up way up here because I'm receiving FT8 at the moment. Going to now if I key up, which I'm only going to do briefly for a demonstration, I'm not going to transmit any CQ calls or anything, of course. There you go. You can see my indicator turned red for PTT, and this needle dropped. Of course, it would have jumped if I had started talking because it's sending KT Money, gotta run, 7-3. Catch the rest on replay. Have a great one, KT Money. Thank you so much for jumping in here, and great to see you tonight. And hope you have a great evening, great rest of your week. All right, so that's how you set up cat control itself directly. You can see if I start dialing my radio dial, it's going to just change the frequency here as well as here. If I switch VFOs, if I can remember how to do this on this radio. Nope, that's not it. I just equaled the A and B VFO. There we go. Okay, I switch VFOs, start dialing the other VFO. See, it changes that one independently. I can switch bands, switch VFOs back. There we go. Dial around a little bit. So, it's just that simple. Any plan to add Zygu radios to the cat control? I think we have. I know we have the X6100. Let's see here, Zygu X6100, X108G, G90. They are in here. As I recall, the G90 takes a little bit of extra hardware to set up with cat control. It's a little bit of a unique radio for basically any cat control software. But yeah, Zygu's in here. I've connected my 6100. You'll notice the A and B VFO don't work with the 6100. It's the way the 6100 is made and programmed. They don't allow both VFOs to operate simultaneously. So they're just basically kind of memory switching instead of actually VFO switching, as I understand. Okay, so the version you have installed didn't show it. Okay, yeah, I think we added some of those Zygu models later. So make sure you've got the latest version, beta version 1.0.2. And if you're having issues with it, drop me a direct message in the community, and we'll get you taken care of one way or the other. But it should be in 1.0.2. So. All right, so that's cat control. Basically, we want to expand this. If you guys have ideas on what to do with cat control, like what functionality we don't have that other softwares do have that you'd like to see, please let us know. We really want that feedback. We want to know, what you expect in a cat control app, how we can improve to just build it out to match the functionality you're wanting. So. KF4BOG live. All right, have a great night. Hopefully, hopefully we'll catch you on another live, and hopefully you get to meet James and crew at Hamvention. Jacob Martin, have a good night. Got to get ready for bed. Work comes early. Understand. I'll be jumping off before too long, but I'm in Central Time, so I guess you probably are too. But anyway, yeah, I've got a little bit of time left here, but I've got a few more things to demo for you guys before we call it off. But great to see you, Jacob. Have a great evening. All right, so that's kind of the basics of cat control. You can also see here you can change this to 14.074. I think I showed you this a minute ago, and I know you can't see my radio, but here, you know what? I have to have this set. There we go. Give me just a second. Let me make sure. There we go. It's connected. Well, anyways. Make sure we got this connected. I left it sitting on the settings page. That's what happens when you demo a beta. If something is going to happen, it's going to happen on a live. But we'll be releasing the final version here soon. Actually, I think we're going to be releasing the final version, possibly packaged with a desktop app, which is something you guys have been asking for a lot, and was something we're super excited to launch as a desktop app. So keep a lookout for that. But yes, we are. We're planning on packaging the final version with the desktop app. So just watch for that. Anyways, usually, whenever you change this frequency field, something, of course, happened on the live stream, which always happens. But if something goes wrong, it always goes wrong on the live. But anyways, we'll get the kinks worked out by the time we get the final version put together. But if you want to try the beta version, please try it. Share any feedback you have with us. We're very eager to get any feedback out of this we can, so that we can improve this, so that when we get to production, it doesn't work. Share map is unshareable now. Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at it real quick. Let's grab a logbook here. I think we took a look at this a little bit ago, but I'm definitely happy to take a look at it. So if I click share map, gives us a share map view. It's going to prepare my share options here for me. Sometimes it takes a minute. There we go. Copy link. I'm going to pop that open in a new tab. There we go. So I'm not seeing any issues with it right now. It won't complete the show download. Sometimes you have to give it a minute, especially if you've got a lot of contacts. I don't know how many contacts are in there. This one here, I got the download button right there. Pull that up. Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, it may be that you've just got a lot of contacts and you have to give it a minute, because it has to populate all those endpoints and everything. So, it may just be taking a little bit of time due to that fact. But yeah, it looks like it's working okay at this point. So, if you want to, you can limit this number down a little ways right here in this drop down. The show contacts drop down, that should help a little bit for you. All right. So next on the cat control / integrations list, let's go ahead and get WSJTX going. So the problem with WSJTX is it does not play well with other cat control softwares, because it has to have full control over the radio. So the best thing to get WSJTX to work the first time is to just click this stop radio connection button right here. Just make sure you've clicked that button. Then you can get, let me go ahead and fire up WSJTX here. Hopefully I've got the latest version installed. Here we go. There we go. Then you can click this start listening button. Make sure you set this to the logbook you want to use. I'm going to go to this 0APX Shack April and start listening. KJ5 FWC. If you are on FT8, go ahead and maybe call CQ. I'll see if I can hear you here. Make sure this is set to FT8. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can work a station here, just to kind of demo how this works. So we've started listening. You can see here it's listening at the moment. So we'll go ahead and minimize this, and then, oops. We'll see if we can find a station here. Whoops, why do I keep doing that? There we go. Okay, let's grab this one right here. Okay, we're TXing through the wrong source. I'm afraid that might be going over my live stream. If that went over my live stream, I apologize. Let me see if I can fix that. One thing about WSJTX is you have to make sure every setting is configured properly. So, audio, USB codec. All right, let me make sure my my radio audio is plugged in, and we'll give it another shot. Oh, you know what? I know exactly why it didn't transmit. There we go. Okay, all right. Let's try this again. He said he's on 15 meters. Let's go ahead and jump over to 15 meters. Tune it up. Oh, in the middle of a contact with Australia. I won't interrupt you. I'll give you a minute, and we'll demo this. Let's just grab CO8LY. There we go. Full transmit. We're transmitting at the moment on FT8. Let me check. I'll go ahead and pull this up. Be on the side here, and we'll check in on it in a minute. Looks like he's still calling. Right now, I've only got a 15 or a 20 meter dipole up. It works on 15 fairly well, but we'll see. We'll see how it does. Okay, he's still calling CQ. Let me try this one. This IARU 100 station. This is one of the special event stations that's been going on lately. We're gonna give this one a try. Okay, Rodney's going to 20 meters. I'm going to give this one, okay, he's not going to, this guy's already working somebody else, so I'm going to jump down to 20, see if we can call Rodney here. Make sure we're on FT8. There we go. All right, Rodney. I'm going to call CQ. Go ahead and answer me just whenever you're ready if you can see me. So let's go ahead and call CQ. Once again, let's see if I can move this camera over here without showing you too much of my messy shack. But you can see I'm using the Kenwood TS570D. So we'll watch this here. Next time we call, you can watch the meter pop up. There we go. You can see the meter pop up there as it calls there. But anyways, all right. EOD Kaboom, share map, confirmed it won't populate share option on Firefox. Yeah, for some reason I had some issues with Firefox. I'll definitely pass that on to the team. Oh, here, I got a couple of guys calling me back. There we go. Okay, all right, working one of them. I'll definitely pass that on to the team. Map share, not working on Firefox. Something about the way Firefox works, I had a little bit of issue with that myself. Not working on Firefox. So I may not have been with map share. I can't remember. Anyway, I've had different issues with different things in Firefox specifically. So, all right, there we go. So now if we log that contact, just click the OK button. Then we jump back over here. Oops, I didn't have the right logbook open. There we go. We'll wait for that to populate. While we wait for that to populate, I'm going to jump back over here, see if I can grab this last guy here. Oops, wrong one. KK3KK, there we go. Oh. There we go. Alright, so we got 7-3 from the other guy. We're going to try to work KK3KK. So, yeah, you can see here that populated with our signal reports. All the information just popped in here. And you can see our contact there. Oh, Colorado. Nice. Let's jump back over here. I'm trying to work KK3KK at the moment. Not. I'll give him a couple calls. I think a lot of his tickets to be related to Firefox. Yeah, I get it. I used to use Firefox. I found just more and more things that finally convinced me to switch. I actually use Brave browser now, and it works fantastic. So, anyways, let's try a KK3KK one more time, and if we don't get him this time, KJ5FWC. If you're still on 20. Give me a call. Give me a call. Be glad to work you. But anyway, you can kind of see how it is here. I'm going to call CQ again one more time since KK3KK is not answering here. We're just going to switch to a CQ call, blanket CQ call, and see if we can work anybody. Oh, looks like POTA K7CAR is operating at the moment. So if anybody wants to hunt a POTA station, jump over there and grab you one. Anyway, we're going to see if we can demo at least one more contact here. Kind of show you how it works. In fact, I'm going to see if I can slide this over. There we go. Now you can see them side by side. For some reason, the WSGTX waterfall refreshes every time you resize it. So, here we go. Oddly enough, doesn't want to waterfall for me at the moment. Oh, there we go. Okay, it was because I was calling. Oh yeah, absolutely. And if you guys are interested in more of these live streams, if you guys want to do this more often, just leave some feedback in the community and you know in these comments and stuff. Just you know let me know what your thoughts are. So, you know I'd be happy to do this more often. Get some feedback from you guys. Have a kind of a one-on-one with some of you guys and make sure your issues are taken care of. Make sure your voices are heard and your thoughts are shared with the rest of the team. So here we go. WA2HIP, perfect. But yeah, I would love to do that more often. So if that's something you guys are interested in, just let me know. You know what? I think I don't think I have checked the X comments yet. So let's see if anybody's been watching on X. See if there's any comments over there. Checking right now. I don't see any comments on X, but feel free to drop some over there if you're watching on X. EOD Kaboom, 100% more live streams. Okay, all right, great. Happy to. Hopefully, we can do several more of these because this has actually really been great to be able to interact with you guys and get some more feedback. We've got a lot of new features coming, so we're going to want a lot of feedback from you guys on some new stuff. So, oh great. Okay, so WA2 HIP is heard me at a -22. So if I can't get him on this one, he's tried 3 times. I've tried to answer him 3 times. So if I don't get him on this one, I'm going to just go ahead and log it and go on to the next hunter. So oh, he heard me. That's great. Yeah, we're going to send a 73. And just click OK. Now just watch this log, and I'm going to jump over here and catch KC1UER. KC1UER, are you in the chat? I thought I saw you earlier. There's that one. I think I saw you earlier, didn't I? KC1UER. KC1UAR, yeah, Jeff in the chat. I don't know if you're still in the chat or not, but yeah, there you are. All right, fantastic, Jeff. Let's try to work you here. See if we can make it across the airwaves right quick. Kilo Charlie 1 United Echo Romeo. Contact you just did. Did you get name filled in the data? Did I get name filled in the data? Do you mean did I'm not sure I quite follow there, Rodney. Do you mean did I manually enter the name? Um, or are you asking if it did a QRZ lookup when I logged it? KC1UER, trying to get you in the log here. Hopefully it goes through here. I think you said you got a -6. I'm hearing you -4, so... Or wait, no, I'm hearing you -6 at the moment. And I'm not sure how you're hearing me, how you heard me a minute ago. Maybe there's a little bit of a discrepancy there, but I'm hearing you -6, so it should be pretty loud. Okay, for the QRZ lookup, no, we actually, what we do is we pull all the data in those contacts from FT or from the FT8 exchange, from the KC1URR -02, great. Okay, we pull all this information directly here. You can see here, Rodney, directly anything in here is the exchange from WSJTX. We do not do QRZ lookup. Is that something you're interested in? Would you like to do QRZ lookup for the name FT8? I'll put a note in here in case you are interested in that. Okay, all right. Rodney says absolutely. Okay, I've got a note here to share with the team. So, and 73 KC1UER, thanks for getting me in your log. It's great. Hopefully that one should confirm here. If you've already logged it, it should in World Radio League. It should confirm here shortly. If not, then it will confirm whenever you log it. But we call CQ again. But all right, Rodney. Yeah, we got your note in here. So while we're doing this with FT8, just by way of explanation, let me go ahead and pull up our cat control app again. So this is what makes all the magic happen between WSJTX and World Radio League. So so basically it's sending the WSJTX for those of you who are the more nerdy among us. WSJTX sends the data stream through a UDP port. We listen to the UDP port, and we pull that data across using that. You know, WSJTX is pretty good about going across the UDP port. You normally don't lose any data there, but and it does very well for us. So. Okay, excellent. N4TQ, great to get you in the log. Gonna keep calling here as I go through this. N1MM, N3FJP also use very similar UDP ports. So basically, you just need to make sure in N1MM, N3FJP, which is also AC log, N3FJP and AC log are the same thing. So you need to make sure that you have them configured to send the data across the UDP port. And like I said, I'll demo that in a future video. But once you have that set up, then all you've got to do is you've got to just make sure you have this the matching UDP port here in this slot right here. You just pick the logbook you want that to go into and start listening. Then all you got to do is, whether you're using N1MM or N3FJP/AC log, just log those contacts and it'll just send them straight across that UDP port into your logbook. Just that simply. Now, I haven't tested that much of leaving the radio connected while using N1MM and N3FJP. If that's something you guys want to do, please do that, and maybe on a future live, let me know what you find. I would love to know if there's like, if it struggles to play together well, or if it does really well together. I would love to hear feedback on that. But give it a try if you'd like. Let us know what you find. But if you have any issues, all you got to do is stop the radio connection and then just connect N1MM or N3FJP directly to your radio. Then log that data across. It's just as simple as just logging it in your N1MM or N3FJP software after starting listening. After you start listening, it just sends it straight across. So Yeah, it's just that simple. Just like WSJTX, as soon as I click that OK button, it drops it in my logbook right here. So you can see that AC2SB. Takes it just a few seconds, sends it across. Rodney, KJ5FWC. Manually use WRL to look up the data and copy to the WSJTX log, hit enter to complete the log. Yeah, I get that. I understand that. Absolutely. Okay, well, we'll definitely look at adding QRZ lookup and eventually our own internal database lookup to this FT8 direct. So let me go ahead and try to get this WA4MB in the log. WA4MB. If you're on the stream, I apologize. I was distracted and I didn't get you clicked there. See if anybody is commenting yet in the X live feed. Don't see anybody yet. Live feed. Uh-oh. A little bit of audio. There we go. Okay. So, yeah, I'm not seeing anybody commenting there yet, but feel free to drop your comments there if you're watching on X. Rodney, it would be nice to have the WSJTX log entry or the log data level and have the QRZ name fill in, then hit. Oh, so like literally send it just basically when you click the OK button, it pops it in here, then you click this button. I see where you're going with that. I think if you look it all up in the back end, it's not as big a deal. I think if we enable QRZ lookup in the back end, it would. I think we can enable that, and if we do, I don't think it would require that. I see where you're going with that, though. Great thinking, but I think it's an extra step where if you're not careful, it almost becomes too complicated. Right now, like all I have to do is just like if I want to remote into my computer from a different computer, all I have to do is just remote in, start listening, and then all I have to have up on one screen is FT8, and I can just log FT8, keep hitting the OK button, and I know it's all going into my World Radio League logbook without me having to do a thing. If you're not careful, you may risk accidentally overwriting something, but I definitely see where you're going with that. But I think we can do it on the back end and not really necessarily have to do that. Great idea, though. So it doesn't look like WA4MB is going to pick us up, so let's go ahead and call CQ again. So hopefully that answers you guys' questions on integrations. I know we've covered a lot tonight, so hopefully that answered your questions on integrations. If you have some more, back-end lookup would be best. That's kind of what I was thinking, Rodney. Great thoughts. If you guys have some more thoughts, some more questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. I'm here for a little bit longer, so feel free to drop them in the chat. Be glad to hear from you. If you want to work me on FT8, I am on 14.074 at the moment. Feel free to fire up your rig and tune me in on FT8. See if you can make the contacts. So, all right, guys. What other thoughts do you have? What else do you want to see demoed tonight? Be glad to show you something if you want to see it. We've got a lot of stuff going on. A lot of stuff coming up very soon. If you want to add a radio to your logbook so you know what radio you used, you can add that here. You can add an antenna. You can add that here. Oh, here's one. We got one. W2NAF. Nice. You can switch your templates up here. We've got this new deal here where I know some other softwares use. The contests are kind of only exist in the template form, so we didn't really want to handle it that way. We wanted to go full on contesting suite. So we have our contesting page, but you can for those of you who are used to finding contests in your templates, you can just jump over here, click this view contests, and that should take you to the contest. Well, they just implemented this, so I'll ask him what happened there. But yeah, definitely something too. It's one of those things. I'm in the okay. definitely one of those things that was just in testing. So I'll drop them a line to make sure they get that lined out as a button instead of an option. So view contests. There we go. Okay. What else do you guys want to see? Drop me some notes here. Happy to cover anything you'd like to see. We'll work a few more FT8 stations here. Answer a few more questions. If you guys have questions, if you guys have comments, thoughts, please drop them in the chat. Be glad to hear from you. F5NNN. Ooh, that's a France station. Glad to get him in the log. So FT8 is not one of my go-to modes unless I'm working remote, in which case it's the only mode that I've really figured out how to work remote that well. I need to set up a better remote station probably, but I like working FT8 if I'm working remote. Otherwise, I'd rather work single sideband or CW. FT8, I'll pull it out if the bands are just terrible, but I do like single sideband and CW. I've just been getting into CW recently. Rob, KB6JFL, no problem whatsoever. No problem. It's actually probably fine to contain it within a topic. That way we can discuss it. Have kind of a thread. We can bring Brad in and have a conversation there about it. Absolutely no worries there, Rob. We'll get you taken care of. Now, guys, I know you guys are probably enjoying this band conditions widget. This expanded widget's actually coming soon to the mobile app, so keep an eye out for that. Looks like since we started streaming, they've updated the band conditions, and it's absolutely crashed. So we may not get F5NNN in the log anyway. We'll go ahead and log in. Close enough. There we go. We got him. Okay. It looks like band conditions have absolutely tanked. A ZBitX on order. W4TRI Ronnie, great to see you. A ZBitX on order. That's great. You know what? I would love to get my hands on one of those ZBitX radios. One of these days, I might. Those things are really cheap, actually, as far as modern SDRs go. It's just, it's a QRP radio, but it's a great little radio. So great to hear that. Any plans to support WRL? So that's a good question. We use a rather popular service for our WRL cat control. We use a service that let's see here, F5NNN. Okay, so I already logged him, so we'll just call again and hopefully he picks us up. We use a service that updates regularly, so probably as soon as they implement the ZBitX into their libraries, it probably won't be long until we get it integrated into ours as well. I would say it's probably coming before too long. Absolutely. Yeah, that's great. Let me make a note for our devs just in case we can maybe expedite that. But ZBitX integration with cat control. Okay, so... Oh, okay. So it actually runs Linux? Ronnie, does it actually run Linux? Guam flag versus U.S. flag. Oh, let me drop a note to devs. We have a meeting tomorrow. I'll throw that in there and make sure we expedite that. Hey, OD Kaboom. I'm sorry about that. Guam flag need. Okay. I'll drop that in there so that we have that. I appreciate you calling us out on that. We'll definitely get you taken care of. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Um, so FT8 is native on the radio. That's really interesting. So basically, you're saying if we package, can you install Ronnie? Can you, I'm not up on how exactly this thing works. This is really fascinating. Can you install new software, like literally install a desktop software onto the ZBitX? Is that possible? Is that doable? Like, can you install a web browser on there, or just any software on your Linux machine? I mean, on your ZBitX. As far as I know, yes. Oh man, that would be incredible. That would be absolutely okay. So, in that case, yes. What you'll need on your ZBitX is we'll be releasing a Linux version soon, and so about a month away. Yeah, I understand. I think that thing's been back ordered. So what you'll need is we'll be releasing our Linux version soon, and a desktop app, which you can try that if you want. I don't know exactly how big the screen is. If it's usable, go for it. But we're going to be releasing a Linux version soon. Once we get the Linux version released, then the next step would be to make sure you have a browser installed. So just so you can log into your account. So you'll just take. I think I demoed it earlier. You can once the stream's over, you can go back and take a look at that. So you'll want to log into your account. Actually, I don't think I demoed that here. I can demo that in a future video. You'll want to log into your account. So you'll install our app, our cat control app. Then you'll log into your account through a web browser. It'll just log in to your World Radio League account. That'll bring in all that information from your account into our cat control app so that you can see all your logbooks in there and stuff. Then you'll just, as long as the FT8 on the with Farhan. Okay, good to know. Good to know. Do you have his? If he's an amateur, I'm sure he's an amateur radio operator. Do you have his call sign? I would love to reach out to him. But okay, so basically the idea here is, as long as the FT8 software on the ZBitX broadcasts through a UDP port, then it would simply you'll just start listening on that port. If it sends the same packets as WSJTX, it'll work now. Otherwise, we'll have to just add a configuration for that software. It'll listen if you just listen on that port. It'll send those FT8 contacts through to your cat control app, and it'll do it all in the back end. So you won't even need the World Radio League logbook up on your screen. It'll do it all in the back end. As long as it sends those data packets across that UDP port. Like I said, right now we use the WSJTX configuration. If it uses a different configuration, we'll have to add that configuration. But I can totally see that happening. That is a very exciting idea there, and very great, very fantastic deal to think through there. So absolutely, we'll definitely be thinking about that. Thank you, Ronnie, for bringing up that idea. That's fantastic. good to know. We'll have to reach out and see if I'll take it up with the dev team and James, and we'll see if maybe we have an opportunity there. Anybody else have anything you'd like to discuss tonight? Any other questions? Any other feature requests? Any other ideas? Just working FT8 for a few minutes here. Fan conditions look like they're getting worse and worse. They're terrible, but I mean, we'll try to work a few more stations while we're on here. Anybody else have any other questions, comments, ideas, thoughts? VU2ESE. Okay. Creator. All right. Thank you, Ronnie, so much for reaching out with that. We'll definitely be in some talks, at least internally, about that right away, and we'll see what happens with that. That'd be super exciting. Super exciting. All right, guys. What else do we have to cover tonight? We've kind of gone over the FT8 demo, the integrations demo. Any movement on LOTW integration? So QRZ. Okay, very welcome and thank you for trying. Thank you. QRZ and LOTW log sync integration. We've definitely been in some discussions about this internally, trying to figure out exactly how we want to approach it. We have not implemented this yet, so no, not really in actual, not in actual development, not necessarily. But we definitely have been discussing these integrations, trying to decide how exactly we want to use them, what exactly we want to, what path we want to take, and how to do this. Basically, they're for confirmations, and we totally get that. Right now, you can easily just export your ADIF, import it to those sites, but right now, no, we have not started on LOTW or QRZ integration. Great question, though. Great question. Vote yes or no in the chat. QRZ and LOTW or not. Maybe we can take a quick tally of yeses and nos. Whether you want that integration or not. W4 TRI, good for testing on ZBitX. All right. I guess the vote I'm kind of asking for here is, do you think it's worth? Ooh, who did I just log anyway? On FT8. Do you think it's worth? Do you think it would be worth paying for? Would kind of be the question. Do you think it's worth paying for a QRZ integration? Would you pay for it? You can vote again if you want to. Do you think it'd be worth paying for a QRZ and LOTW integration? Is that something you would pay for, or is that something that you would be a nice to have but definitely not a requirement, or is that something you would pay for? Okay, we've got one yes. See how many yeses we have here. I'm going to start a tally here. So far we have yeses and nos. We have a yes. Would you or would you not pay? Okay, we've got 2 yeses. Rodney, KJ5FWC, I saw you voted yes earlier. Would you pay for it or would you not? And I'm assuming it would be available in at least, it would of course be available in the VIP tier, probably at least the second to highest tier. Maybe in the cheapest tier, we'd have to see that. So, love to see it integrated. with QRZ. Richard Ryan KJ5GVQ is something that you would see worth paying for. That's the question at the moment. Would you pay for it? See if anybody's dropping comments in the World Radio League X chat. Looking to see if anybody's got any comments over there. Don't see any comments yet. So Richard Ryan would pay for it. Okay, so there's 3 votes. He would increase the user number exponentially. I'm screenshotting your comment, EOD Kaboom, and I'm dropping it in my notes here to add to the team because this is definitely feedback we like to hear. This is stuff we want to hear from you guys. I'm going to add this in here. When I updated TQSL, it deleted my certificate, so I would just use QRZ. Rob, KB6JFL, would you pay for it? Rodney, QRZ first, easy to clean up. Any discrepancies and send to LOTW, and then re-import back to QRZ, pay at a member level, include in upper tiers. Okay, Rodney would pay for it, so that's a 4 yes votes. Rob, at this point, after that, no, he would not pay for it. Okay, so you would not pay for QRZ or LOTW. Just to clarify, we have a no there unless you change your vote to include QRZ. We have a no. It's QRZ and LOTW and or LOTW is kind of the KJ5 GVQ. It would depend on the price. Okay, so with our current pricing tiers, think about the second pricing tier. That's kind of what we're that's kind of maybe what we would consider. We may add it to the first pricing tier, but the second pricing tier would be where we would add it. And just to clarify, I see maybe a little bit of confusion in the comments. The question is, would you pay World Radio League a subscription if it gave you the ability to directly upload your logs to QRZ? That's the question. Would you pay a little bit, maybe the second World Radio League subscription tier, just to get the functionality of course you'd get more functionality, but one of the features would be to upload your files to QRZ. Let's look at what that price is right quick. Let's see our managed subscription. Let's see here. Oh, that's not where we want to go. Give me just a second here. Oops. Let me do this. Trying to put that up. There we go. Put that up over there. Let's see here. So right now, right now the second subscription tier is $60 a year. So what, that's $5 a month. Yeah, so basically $5 a month. Would you pay $5 a month to be able to upload your logs to QRZ? Announcing live streams via email. Okay, I get it. Definitely I'll make a note of that. Announce live streams via email and mobile app push notifications too. We'll put that app push notifications. Okay. KJ5 GVQ. It's $60 a year, which equates to $5 a month for that second tier. So basically, would you pay $5 a month to direct upload your? There you go. Rob KB6JFL goes already to QRZ and to World Radio League. Absolutely, I get you there. So Rob is still a hard no. So we've got 4 yeses and 1 no. I'm not sure where KJ5GVQ the raw ham what your vote is yet. If you want to throw yours in there, feel free to. We'll get your vote in the mix. Anybody else who wants to vote, throw it in there. Throw it in there. Absolutely, be glad to hear from you. And we may even put like a poll up on X later. Would you pay $60 a year? You know, but I wanted to since we're on the live stream already, I wanted to kind of bounce this off of you guys, see what your thoughts were on the live. So feel free to share in the comments here what you're thinking. Okay, but it is Richard. Oh, Richard Ryan. Okay. I get you now. Yeah. All right. Sounds good. Yep. So you voted as a yes. KJ5GVQ. You voted as a yes. So all right. So we have 5 votes so far. If you guys want to keep voting, keep dropping yeses or nos in the comments. Would you pay $60 a year to be able to upload to direct upload to QRZ? And or LOTW. Absolutely, Rodney. Rodney's showing a yes. 60 a little steep, but understand it's a lot to fork out every year between QRZ and all the others. Yeah, I get it. It's not $60 a month, definitely. It's $5 a month, but yeah, $60 a year. A lot of it has to do with data handling in the back end and just cloud costs in general, which as your cloud service grows, your cloud costs just grow exponentially along with it. So it's just one of those things where you kind of have to maybe it looks like an expensive price right on the front, but just when you really understand what's going on in the back end, you kind of understand a little better why some of those things have to have price tags on them at all. But I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. We're keeping our fundamental logging software free. I mean, it just stays. It's going to stay free for you guys as long as we can keep it that way, and it looks like we're going to be able to keep it that way for quite a while now. Fundamental logging is free. You just you have to pay for some of the upgrades, but right now and hopefully for the long future, it will remain free to just come in and log, and I'm not saying that because we foresee any changes. We don't foresee any changes to that at all. We're committed to remaining free for basic logging. I see no changes in that in the near future. But at this point, yeah, that's where we're at. WRL QRZ ARRL about 165 per year. Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. Yeah, honestly, I know I understand. The biggest deal for me on even subscribing to QRZ and LOTW from ARRL is confirmations. If it wasn't for confirmations, I'd be if ever, as we continue to grow and people continue to migrate over to WRL, it's going to become less and less valuable to me to subscribe to QRZ and ARRL. Probably just simply because I'll have all my confirmations in WRL. So keep spreading the word about WRL. Just get more people over here, because then we'll have more confirmations over here, and the other services may become less needful. Yeah, a lot to fork out at one time. Oh yeah, absolutely. I get it. Right after Christmas is probably not the best time to. I get that entirely. Yeah. Definitely don't want to get those bills too high. But like I said, you can pay $3 a year for our cheapest tier, and I mean $3 a year, $3 a month, $36 a year for our cheapest tier, and it expands your ability to import. We're expanding these tiers out to add more functionality eventually. So it's just really exciting stuff we've got going on. Right, VE races Aries. Yeah, I get it. I understand. Definitely understand. But hopefully, we can kind of. I will say I think WRL ranks among the cheaper ones that I've found personally as far as services to use for your logs. So just throwing that out there. I think it's one of the cheaper services. I mean, $3 a month, $5 a month. It's not that terribly bad. But I totally get it. If you're not able to pay for a subscription, we get it. Just use the free version. It's got all your basic logging functionality in there. If you want to support the project and you want to get access to a little bit more analytics and stuff, and some of that more data intensive stuff, go ahead, subscribe to our $36 a year tier. If you want to support us a little bit more, feel free to, but no obligation. Definitely the most visually appealing. Thank you. Yeah, we've definitely worked hard on trying to make it a modern logger. We've got a lot of things coming. We've announced this before, but just for you guys who have not heard this yet, we have been selected to host the WRTC World Radio Team Championship, World Radio Sport Team Championship. The WRTC, I can't remember exactly how the acronym goes, but the WRTC 2026. So next year, we're hosting that on our platform. So really, really exciting stuff there. It's kind of where we're going with these expanded contests. We're going to be bringing it down to just like small scale, 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 or whatever challenges you want to do with some friends. All the way up to large scale contests. We're trying to get all that built in. Cost for a new ham trying to build a shack. Oh yeah, no, I get it. I absolutely get it. But I tell you what, the free version of this thing is all you need as you're starting your shack. Just jump in. If you want more functionality later, feel free to grab it. But if not, I mean, the free version is great for just logging your contacts, and keeping track of them, keeping your confirmations going. It's all there. You don't have access to those advanced analytics or huge ADIF imports. But if you're a new ham and you want just a good solid logging program, just sign up for free and start using it. If you want to expand your functionality later, you can. But absolutely, it's definitely free to start with. It looks like we got a confirmation here. KC1UER has logged our contact in World Radio League. Thank you so much, KC1UER. All right, guys. Anything else from anybody? Anybody have any more thoughts you want to share? Share them in the comments. Anybody else have any other topics that you'd like to cover? Anything else you'd want to discuss? Let's take a look while we're waiting on somebody to throw something in the comments. We're going to take a look at the upcoming QSO parties, contests. April 19th and 20th this weekend. We've got Nebraska, Michigan, Ontario, and Quebec QSO parties all coming up this weekend. April 26th is the Florida QSO party. I participated in the last Florida QSO party. And in that one, let's see here. I think I got top youth score in that one. It was really fun participate in that one, and yeah, of course it was one of those things where I was like, I was probably the only one to submit a youth score, maybe one of the only two, but it was a really fun contest, and really fun there. Then coming up on May 3rd and 4th, we have the 7th call area, QSO party, the Indiana QSO party, Delaware, and New England QSO parties. Of course, we have the Canadian Prairies coming up on May 10th, the Arkansas coming up on May 17th, Atlantic Canada on June 6th. We've got a lot of these coming up here. We've got them filled out all the way to August 24th, and we'll be definitely looking at adding more of those soon. So we have in the comments, Ernest. I remember when OneDrive came out, so many people that signed up stayed using OneDrive for an amount of time. You get a bump in your subscription. That's interesting. So, very interesting. Very interesting idea. Let me screenshot that comment and just drop a note to our developers and see and our CEO and just see what they have to say about that. Ernest, what's your thoughts on QRZ integration? Would you pay the $60 a year to upload your logs to QRZ? We had a poll going earlier. Rodney, supporting to ensure this continues to grow and expand. We really appreciate that, Rodney. That's the only reason we're really able to keep going right now. It's because of guys like you supporting us just to see us grow. Ernest says yes, indeed, he would pay $60 a year to upload directly to QRZ and LOTW. So that's 5 yeses and to 1 no. Ernest also says he has a request. Wants to see time, frequency, mode. The sent and received is irrelevant when you're running pile-ups. So are you talking about here? Are we talking about in the spotting page? Are we talking about in the log list? Or are we talking about the field entries? Which one of these are we talking about? Are you wanting a new template that does not have these 2 entries, or are you talking about down here in the list here, Ernest? When you're out logging 200 to 300 QSO and you don't have to come home and upload, it's a true time saver. Yeah, absolutely. I get you. I hear you. Sounds like it's been very positive feedback as far as QRZ and LOTW integration goes. So I'll pass it on to the team for sure. So right here, I'm sorry that there's a little bit of delay between the yeah, Kaboom counts as a quorum. 5 yeses, 1 no. All right, 6 World Radio League users have spoken. We have a quorum. Okay. All right, I will definitely be recommending this, these comments, this score, this vote to the team. we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We have a development meeting tomorrow, so we'll see. Under the log section. Okay, so down here is where you're talking about. Okay, so you don't necessarily want to see these. You want to see the time instead. Okay, so you want the time column to be listed. Sent and received is not relevant after logging. Okay, I get it. So, let me drop a note in here. So after logging, signal report is no longer relevant in the list view. Time is okay. So you want to see time, but not that. Okay. So you want to keep the time. So you want the time to return to this view. I get that. I absolutely get that. We don't really have the time in there right now. So, yeah, okay. We'll definitely look at adding that back in there. Working FT8, it's all about the time. Yep, I understand. Keep the time. All right, we have a couple of votes for that. Andy from the ZBitX site. ZBitX comes bundled with FL Digi, FreeDV, QSSTV, any rig control compatible Linux software will work with the ZBitX. That's incredible. That's incredible, Ronnie. I appreciate that. Let me grab, Let me grab your comment here and throw it in my notes to share with the team. It's not really paying, it's just going to the second tier, and all the benefits could be $1 a month. Add to the lower tier just for that feature, maybe to help. $48 per year versus $36 for a member level. Okay, so you're talking adding another member level in there just to get QRZ integration. I can see that. Yeah, I can definitely see that. But we'll see. Let's see if I can work. Photo station here. Yeah, I can see that. Rodney, let's add another tier just for QRZ integration. It's definitely an idea. Rob, just make time an option. So, in other words, you want to be able to choose what columns you see like you do in QSO Manager. So over here in QSO Manager, which is basically all your contacts you've ever logged all in one place. You can go up here to columns and grab this. So you're wanting to see this in the single logbook view, is that right, Rob? Is that kind of what you're thinking? Trying to keep the single logbook view as simple as possible, but I get that. I get making time an option. Or keep time. I will always use it. Okay. The problem right now is we don't have time, so we're looking at adding it back based on some feedback tonight. So, absolutely. All right, guys. Any other thoughts? Any other thoughts? Anything else you'd like to see? Any other questions, comments, ideas? Here comes K7CAR, the FT8 PODA activator himself. Any other thoughts? No, not while logging. We're definitely going to keep it there while logging. No, we're certainly going to keep it there. The question is whether we want to add it back as a column down here. In the instead of we may possibly remove this sent receive signal reports. But we're definitely going to keep the time up in the logging field. So can we have a toggle for PODA hunters so that we'll add the frequency in part? Yeah. Oh, great call out. We actually have this in our agenda. So I'm not sure if we're going to be discussing this tomorrow or not. But I'll you know what? I'm going to throw your comment in so that we can discuss it tomorrow. I want to discuss this with the team. And yeah, definitely we're looking at adding this toggle in here so that make it a lot easier. Ernest actually is the one that called us out on having it in there, having it default to adding the frequency automatically, because he would be activating and he'd realize it switched frequency on him because another activator hunted him, and so it switched to that activator's frequency, which is not what we want. So we defaulted it to just stay on the same frequency, and you can change it yourself if you want to. If you copy the spot over, then it will replace it. But if you just type the call sign in, then it will not anymore. Now, if you're hunting, we totally understand why you probably want that functionality back. So yes, we're looking at a toggle so that we can just you just turn that on and use it while you're hunting. Turn it off while you're activating, and not have to worry about it. Ernest says it causes havoc. Yeah, as an activator, that would drive me crazy if I was running into that issue. So definitely the toggle, I think, is probably the way to go. So I'll be sure to keep that fresh on the team's mind. Let's check X one more time. Make sure we don't have any comments there. Nope, not really anybody commenting over on X. It doesn't look like. So I'm not seeing any messages there. Yeah, we get you, Ernest. We get you. We definitely understand the issue there. They don't put QRT when they're at another park. Yeah, it can be frustrating. But Discord for live chat. N2FET was in here earlier asking for Discord. I've suggested it before to the team, but it's just another thing to manage. Let me drop this in, and I'll add that to my agenda of things to pass on to the team. Anything else? Anybody have any other ideas, suggestions, questions, something you want to see demoed tonight? See if we can work another POTA station while we're waiting. EOD Kaboom, if you want, reach out to me. I'm on a few of the different ham radio discords. You can DM me on Discord if you want to. You can try finding me on, I don't know if you're on LICW Discord or POTA Discord, or trying to think some of the others. Ham Radio Workbench Discord, if you're on any of those, or I'm on a few different ones. If you're on them, you can look for @AndyN0APX. When you find me, you can just DM me about setting up a Discord server if you'd like. If you have any thoughts or suggestions on that, and I'd love it. I'd love to chat with you about that. Same with N2FET if you're still listening. I think I mentioned that earlier. Ernest, no other ideas, but you being here is why I support WRL. See y'all down the log. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you, Ernest. Thank you so much. Great to see you, my friend. Have a great evening, Ernest. We really appreciate you and all you do for us with just using our product, getting the word out there, and helping us. Whenever you have ideas or thoughts or anything, just helping us by sharing them with us. We really appreciate it. Anybody else, any support, we just really appreciate you guys. All of you. So, thank you, EOD Kaboom. Yeah, all right. Any other thoughts? Anybody else have anything before we call it a night? I mean, I'm good for a few more minutes if somebody has some more thoughts here. I'd be happy to demo something else. If you want to see it, give you a few more minutes here while we call CQ on FT8. Give you a few more minutes to throw us a few more comments. Just while we're waiting, as a quick personal plug, I'm working on an antenna design personally on my own channel. You can see some of that information. Just search for Andy N0APX on YouTube, and you can see me or that's where I post most of the updates about the antenna project. Or go to n0apx.com. I don't have as much information there, but I hopefully will soon. But if you're interested in beta testing it, I'll probably send out 5 to 10 beta units of my new antenna product, 3D printed antenna product, infed halfway for 20 meters. So if you're interested, definitely shoot me a message, DM me on Discord, DM me on you can email me, Andy@n0apx.com. Just a quick plug there. DM me in the community, the World Radio League community. If you want to beta test it, give it a try. Just let me know. I'll probably send out 5 to 10 units, and then when it's ready for production, then I'll be posting about it, and hopefully, maybe you guys will be interested enough to buy a few. So, all right. Anybody else have any 7.3 KJ5 GVQ? I don't see any more comments, guys. I really appreciate you coming along for the ride. You have a great evening, and hopefully we can catch you down the log. Stay tuned, because we'll probably be doing more of these lives. I'm finding you guys really like these, so we'll be probably doing more of these as we release new features. We'll be coming up. Ernest wants to try. Okay, Rodney KJ5 FWC. Very interested in antenna addiction. Rodney, DM me on the World Radio League community. Ernest, DM me on the World Radio League community, or shoot me a message, a DM on Messenger or Discord or community, however. Thanks for TR, I appreciate it. Okay, send me a message through our community, and I'll get you. I can probably get some of you guys signed up to test it. 20 meter infed half wave, and yeah, just to tease the name, the infed biscuit is what I'm calling it. So it should be hopefully a quick deploy, quick rewind antenna. So really excited about that. You can see some of my 3D printer struggles if you go check out my YouTube channel, but thankfully it's all going well now. So I'll be putting some more videos of the antenna. So thank you guys. Thanks for coming along for the ride. We covered a lot of ground with World Radio League here tonight, and I really appreciate the support, the discussion, the back and forth, exchange of ideas here. Really fantastic. I want to do this more often, so keep your eyes out. We'll probably be doing more of these live streams. Ronnie, you print as well. That's great. Feel free, guys, to reach out to me on the community. Send me an email, Andy@n0apx.com. Love to hear from you guys. You can comment on my YouTube channel or DM me in Discord. So, all right, guys, 7-3. Have a great evening, and hope to catch you down the log and on another live stream. 7-3, everybody, and we'll see you next time. N0apx, I'm clear.